and I told him how important this program is, which he knows and supports vigorously, and that's represented on the amount of candidates that come through the program that we send to Plumbers Local 1. And I've been able to attend many of the graduations, and it's just great when they, and I'm sure you'll introduce Artie and everybody else, but when Artie Flock, the director of training, says we had 26 or 27, construction skills candidates graduating in this class, helps a lot. I mean, it really lifts your heart, right? And we would not be successful without all of you at the apprentice program. It just wouldn't be. One of the things that I tell people all the time, and when we do tours for elected officials, we try to keep it within a very tight geographic area, but one of the schools we always stop at is Plumbers Local 1. Very impressive, and it's a school. I mean, and I tell you, elected officials come in there and they are like, oh, I had no idea, like this is what it really is. And it's a school, and it's where these young men and women are trained, in classroom training, and of course their practical training. And it's very impressive when we bring elected officials around to our training facilities. Like, some of them often don't realize the depth and the degree of training and education that goes into becoming an apprentice, becoming a journey person. And the reality is, and Roberta said it, and I've said it and I will continue to say it, we produce, in my opinion, the finest, the most highly qualified, skilled tradesmen and women anywhere in North America, right here in New York City, and I'm damn proud of all the work that you do. A few words just about Paul's leadership style. I mean, he is very, very, very dedicated, committed to his membership. I mean, really intense. And he's never sitting idle. We were texting yesterday late in the afternoon about a couple of things. He's got his eye on the ball, and he is really, really committed. He sees the future, which is really important in a leader, and he thinks about and anticipates what's coming next, and how to deal with it, mitigate it, address it, and a lot of what we're doing legislatively this year, it has to do with some of those issues that will definitely affect the plumbers union, which is good. The stuff that we're doing is really good. Paul was very involved in that, and because he had some vision about some impacts that could be happening in the industry. So that's really important for a leader, to not only deal with today to day, but to also look long lens, right? What is coming? What do I need to anticipate? How do I need to address whatever opportunities or challenges we may face? And he does that. He does it very, very well. So I have an enormous amount of respect for him, because I try to lead the same way, and I admire those that look the long lens, not just worrying about getting through the day, getting through the month, worrying about their next election. That's not Paul O'Connor at all. He is thinking about the good and the greater good of his organization. He's thinking about the greater good, most importantly, about his members. And I admire that and respect that. So having said that, it's my honor to introduce to you our first honoree this morning, Paul O'Connor, business manager.
So let me show how it turns from, I don't know if I want to do it. It's simply like this: Paul, I need you to do this. No, okay, yes. And thank God that's the headshot up, because my phone has been ringing off the hook by so-called friends saying, was that my graduate picture? That's not. So thank you, Gary. Not only do I consider you a friend, but also a voice for the many. Whether it's opening the political doors in Albany or New York City, or now, most recently, in financial boardrooms. And most importantly, now taking on a very tough task that is in the front of all the labor leaders of New York City, which is taking care of the mental health and well-being of our members. We are fully engaged in that, Gary, and we thank you. That's the best labor leader in this country. Gary, I got an award for you. Special acknowledgement also to the two other candidates, Vincent and Carlo. And I want to acknowledge Carlo. who I consider to be a friend. And I want to touch on this, and as labor leaders we know this. We often speak when Carlo comes into the executive boardrooms monthly to offer opportunities to bid for his clients, and what he states is, you know, Paul, this is what's happening. They're looking for best value, and we understand that. We understand the competition that's out there. But I think one thing that he understands, as well as everybody in this room, the building trades in New York City is really the best value. On my lapel pin is a pink Local 1 pin. Not only is it an acknowledgement of October being Breast Cancer Awareness, it's also a shout out to the guy that made pink look cool. The architect of construction skills, Eddie Malloy. Let's give Eddie a round of applause. Since 2001, 240 candidates for construction skills graduates have been placed in the Local 1. In fact, one of our first members, Anderson Pena, is running some of the largest jobs as a foreman in New York City, a testament to the program. Gary's staff, which I always want to thank, and the staffs of all these programs do a tremendous job. But I like Nicole best because she picked me. These young prospects win a lottery being placed in our apprenticeship program. Local 1 spends millions training our apprentices by the finest training department in New York City, with Artie Clark, John Sullivan, and Alan Wishnoff in the audience right here. I'm in trouble. So a little about me. Back in 1980, I attended Queens Vocational High School, and at that time there was no such thing as construction skills direct entry. Among the different classes available were options to take plumbing and electrical. Well, I took electrical for 4 years, and when I went to graduate, they said, this guy's too smart to be an electrician, we've got to make this guy a plumber. I know Chris isn't here, but he threw shots at me at last meeting, so. No, really, in all honesty, I'm colorblind, so we saved a lot of liability. After high school, I got into Local 2, the old conventional way, with my father and 2 uncles in the trade. Yes, we remember that statement, you're not going to be gallivanting all over the city, you need to get to work, so off to work I went. And in attendance is my dad and my Uncle Richie, both 50-year life members. And I'm really happy to have them here to share the award, because usually when I'm up for award, my father books a trip to Ireland, and I don't see him for 3 months. I'm becoming a member. I'm also thankful to be a member, but also being a part of the leadership group to lead our 6,000 members. When Gary talks about vision, it's not just me, it's a we thing. We consistently spend time together to try to figure out the next steps. So when I accept the award, I not only accept it on behalf of the members, I accept it on behalf of my officers who are in attendance, Freddie, Richie, George, and Louie. Program like Construction Skills offer young plumbers an inside look at what the movement's about. It's simple. When you become one of ours, we got your back. Last week, our members stood outside City Hall to pass an important bill. However, just a few steps away from us was a union organizer translating Spanish to English and English to Spanish for a small group of unrepresented drivers that just wanted to have their voices heard. And their message was no different than the message of our organizations that surrounded Union Square Park over 100 years ago. And because of that, those voices, for us, their hands and their brains, and we get to enjoy the most beautiful skyline in the world. Currently, a successful building trades member may go on to enjoy the life of a middle class, decent wages, secure benefits, and a future retirement. However, history of the movement has shown that that does not come without a cost. It was their voices, and I think we all forget the power of the workers' voices. When these young men and women come into programs like this, they don't have to worry about what anybody translating their message, because the labor movement's got their back. And for those drivers that we see, I hope the next time we see them, the numbers have quadrupled. And maybe soon after that, they will be talking about direct entry into apprenticeship programs for themselves. Because that's what the American dream and what the union movement is all about. I want to close by saying Local 1 is very appreciative of this award, and that cannot be done without the support of my family, all my fellow officers, and I thank them for being here today. And a special thanks to everyone that made a donation to support this great program. Thank you, and have a great day.
All right, let's hear it again, Paul. Great. We're doing this.